In this video, we're going to talk about why people need to buy through a rent-to-own program. There's a variety of different reasons why people buy using the rent-to-own strategy. 4 of the most prominent reasons people opt to buy a home using a rent-to-own strategy include, number 1, they've been through some tough financial times, such as bankruptcy, foreclosure, consumer proposal, or orderly payment of debt, and their credit was bruised, so the banks say no to a traditional mortgage. Now, for many, they don't know how to fix their credit, so a good rent-to-own program will set them up for success from the very beginning and have a credit coaching system in place to help the tenant buyer be able to qualify to buy the home at the end of the term. Now, for most, they can get a traditional mortgage between 2 to 3 years from being discharged from either bankruptcy, consumer proposal, orderly payment of debt, provided they work with the credit coach to fix the root causes and to reestablish new credit. Now, the second reason people opt to buy through a rent-to-own is they're self-employed. Now, for most self-employed people, they make very good money, but they're always taught to pay the least amount of tax possible. Now, in doing so, their taxable income is very low. Now, a good rent-to-own business will have a credit coach with a mortgage broker that can work with the tenant buyer and advise them how much of an income they need to show on their taxes in order to purchase the home that they want. Then they will generally need to make that taxable income for 2 to 3 years in a row, showing the bank that they can support the payments of the price of the house that they're looking to buy. Now, once they've qualified for a traditional mortgage, then they can go back to showing very little taxable income if they want. That's really up to them. But in order for them to qualify for a traditional mortgage, they're going to need to show a specific amount of taxable income on their personal tax statements in order to qualify for a set amount. Now, we're going to get into how much in another video, how much they could actually qualify for and show you how to work that out. But we're going to do that in a different video. Now, the third reason why people opt to buy through a rent-to-own program is that they're new to the country. Now, people who come to this country from another country typically don't have any credit. Now, unless they're putting about 50% cash down or buying it outright, most places aren't going to give them a traditional mortgage. So what they need to do is they need to establish some kind of credit, which the mortgage broker or credit coach will help them with. Now, it usually takes 2 to 3 years to establish and build up the credit score to a point where they can qualify for a traditional mortgage. Now, keep in mind, they'll still need to have money and stable employment in order for them to get into a rent-to-own so they can qualify to purchase the mortgage or to qualify for a traditional mortgage at the end of the term of the rent-to-own. Now, the fourth and final main reason why people get into a rent-to-own is divorce. Now, for many people going through a divorce, it can be a lengthy process. And if there's any outstanding debt, it can hold up the purchase of a new home. Now, if the divorce isn't settled and the participants don't want to incur any additional assets or put anything else in their name, they can get into a rent-to-own because it's like owning a home, but technically they're still tenants because it's not in their own name. So they avoid the risk of losing the new home once the divorce becomes final, because you can't take something away from somebody if they don't own it. So you can see those are the 4 main reasons why people actually get into a rent-to-own. So there's a variety of different situations, a variety of different reasons. So as you can see, there's a variety of situations that people are faced with where rent-to-own becomes a very viable solution.